am back with a new episode of Ask Sunny, and today's question, oh my, I've gotten asked this question so much over the last couple of years, so I'm really excited to finally be officially answering it here on my channel. And if you didn't know, and if you haven't heard of Ask Sunny, you can send me questions, video questions on Instagram, and I may just choose you to answer your question right here on my YouTube channel. So stay tuned until the end because I'll give you full instructions on exactly how to do that so I actually see your question and can use it in one of my upcoming Ask Sunny episodes. So let's dive into today's topic. So today's topic is for you if your YouTube views or subscribers have completely stalled, if you started a YouTube channel but now you want to pivot niches or topics and you're finding that everything is basically not working for you because you pivoted and you're not getting any engagement anymore. You want to pivot and you don't know how to do so without losing subscribers, losing views, and losing engagement. You have tried everything to get your channel to grow and nothing is working, and you're contemplating deleting your old videos because you want to start fresh with a new focus and new topic. So if any of those things are relevant to you, be sure to give this video a like so that more people can see it inside of the algorithm. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified every single time I post a new video, and be sure to follow me on Instagram so you can submit your question for an upcoming Ask Sunny episode. And like I said, instructions on how to do that will be at the end of the video. So without further ado, let's dive into today's question.
Hi Sunny, my name's Danielle. I recently found your channel and I love your videos on YouTube growth, so I have a question for you. I've had my channel, Life of a Quinn, for about 5 years now, and I made most of my growth in the first 3 years. I gained about 950 subscribers. But I was making a totally different type of content back then. I took a break, and when I came back, those videos didn't really bring me joy anymore. So I pivoted. I completely rebranded my channel, and I started making a new type of video, more vlog style, more focused on just my life and everything like that. But it seems like with every video I post, I actually lose subscribers, and my view count on each video has been at an all-time low. Should I delete my older videos that are no longer relevant? I don't know. Am I confusing the YouTube algorithm? Should I just start a whole new channel and maybe upload some of my more recent videos on there? What can I do? Please help. Thanks.
That is such a great question, Danielle, and such a common question. So like I said, super excited to dive into all the nitty gritty of how to determine what to do with the channel if you have switched or pivoted your focus. So I'm gonna give you lots of tips throughout this video on exactly what to do and some tactics to use on your channel. But before we get into that, it's really important to understand context-wise how the YouTube algorithm works. As Danielle mentioned, she said, am I confusing the YouTube algorithm? And the answer is a little bit yes. And I'm gonna dive into Danielle's channel and show you exactly what's going on and why subscribers have dropped and why views have dropped since she switched focus. But how the YouTube algorithm works is you have to remember it's an art and a science, and it is all run off of an algorithm. And so it basically needs to know where to categorize you. So if you've ever noticed channels where one particular topic tends to get more views than any other topic that channel does, that's because when one video with a specific keyword performs well on your channel, YouTube takes note and the algorithm takes note. And it says basically, okay, this keyword has performed really well on this channel, so therefore every time this person makes a video on this topic, we're gonna push it in suggested videos, in search rankings, as well as on the homepage, which leads to more views on your videos, more subscribers, and more velocity. That's how the algorithm works, and you can't really get around that too much. So if you are looking to pivot your channel or switch your focus, which I do understand, we evolve as people, and it's called YouTube for a reason, and we are dynamic human beings, and sometimes you don't want to talk about the same thing over and over and over again. So I'm going to dive into and tackle all of that in today's video. Here is what I recommend. So we're going to start with tip number 1, which is find a focus. So what I mean by that is that you basically need to take a look look at what videos have performed well on your channel and also are aligned with something that you're passionate about. Now, when I took a look on your channel and kind of went back in the history and noticed some very obvious clues as to what content performed well. I know you mentioned that it wasn't sparking joy for you recently, so therefore we have to use the next tactic to basically bridge the gap. But the reason that the YouTube algorithm is confused right now, like you said, is because you built all of this authority around one topic, and now you've basically completely gone the other way, started making videos on all of these random topics, and YouTube doesn't know where to put you, where to categorize you, or what to do with the authority that you've already built for a topic that you no longer want to talk about. So it basically is like one step forward, two steps back with every video you post. But let's dive into this a little bit further. So what I just mentioned is step number 2, or tip number 2, which is you have to bridge the gap. Now, what do I mean by that and how do you do that? Let's dive into my computer. All right, so on Danielle's channel, the first thing that I noticed is that you really do have a common theme on the topics that have built the most authority on your channel. So the first step, if you are trying to figure out how to not lose all momentum when you've already kind of focused on one topic and you're trying to pivot to the next, is to go to your most popular videos. So if I go to your most popular videos, the very obvious theme is reading, which is awesome. So building and reorganizing your new bookshelf, you do readathons, you do book reviews, etc. And this is where you built your authority. You can see based on the fact that your highest viewed videos all have to do with the topic of reading. So that's a really interesting thing to take note of. And maybe that's not the thing that's going to spark joy for you in every video you make moving forward. But the best thing that you can do right now is use these keywords and this theme to allow you to get back in front of your audience. So what I would recommend doing is recreating some of your most top viewed videos because they are old. They're all about 2 years old. So basically you can take the exact same title because that title and those keywords have already performed well in the algorithm for you. And you basically just do an updated version of them. And that's going to get you back in front of your subscribers because your subscribers originally subscribed because of that content. So it's going to re-engage them, get them to watch your new content, and basically get re-engaged in your channel so that when you post content about other topics, they'll actually get notified about it because they've watched your recent videos, and because of the fact that your recent videos are going to be on the topic of why they originally subscribed. So that's my big tip there, is if you can recreate and bridge the gap by recreating some of your old content that has built the most authority for you and gotten the most views and subscribers on your channel, it's going to push you back in the algorithm in front of your subscribers and allow you to grow. So basically, if you have any topics that are related to reading, books, reviews on books, bookshelves, any of the topics that have performed well for you that you could create a new video on, that's going to help you bridge the gap and get your subscribers re-engaged for your new kinds of content and as you pivot to a new focus on your channel. But right now, you've basically gone from one topic, didn't do anything to transition the content, so YouTube doesn't know what to do with your new content because it has nothing to do with your old content, and that's why you're not getting views and you're not getting subscribers and you're actually losing subscribers. The third tip is build authority with your new keywords. So at the end of the day, YouTube is still based around keywords and search. It is still a search engine owned by the largest search engine in the world, and it still is based off of an algorithm. So it needs to know where to put you and what categories to put you in so that you can get seen. For example, you made this video just recently on how to make bread. Now, the issue with this video and why it's not getting a ton of traction is because you are diving in the deep end when you have built zero authority on the topic of how to bake bread because all of your authority has come from the topic I was mentioning earlier. So that's okay because you're going to bridge the gap, as I just mentioned, and you can start moving into new categories, etc. But in order to do that, you have to build authority for those keywords. So the reason that this isn't going to work for you is because if you look up how to make bread, it has a search volume of 90,000 searches and your competition is in the millions. So you're competing against millions and millions and millions of other videos, 23 million to be exact. So basically what you've done is you've gone right into the deep end on a topic that is highly competitive. Therefore, you haven't built any authority on it. Therefore, no one's going to see it and you're not going to gain subscribers from it. So there is a way around this, and that's what I mean by building authority for new keywords for your channel. And I'm going to show you in a second, but you also want to pay attention to the other elements of what we call the Sunny system. So the first thing is, as a smaller channel, and you want to treat your channel as if you're starting from scratch, you're going to start with between 100 and 1,000 searches per month. You're going to start with less than 100,000 results in the search pool, which means the videos you're competing against. You want to make sure that there's high views and velocity, and you also want to make sure that the TubeBuddy rating is fair or above if you're using TubeBuddy, which is a part of our system. So you'll see here, the views and velocity is pretty good here in terms of this video was posted a year ago, it has 12 million views. This video was posted 4 years ago, it has 2.3 million views with 646,000 subscribers. So more views than subscribers, which is great. But these channels are also massive. So you, as a baby channel right now, as a new-ish channel, you can't compete with these big guns at the top here, which is why you have to find another avenue in to start to build authority in a new niche as you pivot. So an example of this would be how to make banana bread muffins without experience. This follows the formula. So if I just put in how to make banana bread muffins, let's just see what happens there. It's going to give me a search volume of 320, which perfectly fits in the parameters. Then if I add on without baking experience, that makes it even better. So it's going to minimize the amount of competition that you have. So the search volume is still 320 because that's your primary keyword, but with adding that on, you have minimized the amount of competition and minimized the search pool, which is going to allow you to get higher rankings and get pushed more in suggested. So you only have 13,000 people you're competing against instead of 23 million. And your TubeBuddy score is very good. Plus, the top ranking videos are smaller channels. They're not in the millions of subscribers necessarily. They're still big, but they're not as big as the channels that were ranking 1 through 5 on the other topic. And you can see that this video right here is only posted 2 weeks ago, has 34,000 views. That's a really good sign that there is demand for this particular topic. So that's how you find kind of a gateway in order to build authority and pivot into a new topic. You don't want to dive in the deep end where you're going to get lost in a sea of content. You want to start in the shallow end to start gaining momentum and authority for those new keywords. Tip number 4 is to focus on recent breakthrough videos. Now, a breakthrough video is basically a video on your channel that gets more views and more velocity than normal. And why those are important recently for you is because you have changed your focus and topic. So these breakthrough videos are really good clues to you as to which topics are in demand by your audience and are going to help you bridge that gap to continue to grow your subscriber base and authority while pivoting content topics. So if you look at your channel, you do have some obvious breakthrough videos recently, which is really good. And this is the kind of content and the keywords that you want to build momentum from. So if you look at videos like I made that viral TikTok whipped coffee, that's a really interesting one that has 135 views versus 41 and 31 and 31 views. So this had more demand for this topic. Same with this video, same with this video. So any of the videos that have more views than average on your channel and you see a spike in views, those are what we call breakthrough videos. So you want to try and take those topics and use them to grow your channel faster and start to pivot into a new content category. So why I find this one interesting is it's kind of along the same sort of cooking recipes theme that you could create as your overarching theme on your channel to really gain subscribers and momentum right now away from the reading and book theme topics that you used to cover. Quick interruption for an important announcement. If you want the proven system to fast track your growth on YouTube that has been used by thousands of creators around the world, like Sue, who grew from 0 to 1,600 subscribers in 3 months, or Karen, whose Spanish hairstyling channel had a 360% increase in watch time, or Heather, who hit 50,000 subscribers, register for the free masterclass and join the club at bossYouTubeStrategy.com. Back to the video. Tip number 5 is understand where your subscribers are coming from. This is vital. You have to think about the fact that if you have a video that's driving a ton of new subscribers to your channel, which oftentimes there's, 3 to 5 videos that drive the majority of new subscribers on your channel. And those topics are the topics that you're building a lot of authority for and therefore are going to get more subscribers and more views, because you have to think about it this way. Let's say I made a video on how to feed your dog. I just got a puppy, so I think that's why I'm thinking this way. A little distracting when I'm filming. Meet Mugsy, YouTube. Say hello, Mugsy. Hi. And that video has gained 90% of my subscribers. Well, my subscribers are very interested in that topic, and that's why they subscribed. Therefore, if I make another video on the same topic or a slight variation of that topic, they're gonna be super interested again, which is gonna lead to more velocity, which therefore pushes me on the homepage, pushes me in suggested, and pushes me in the search results, because my built-in audience of subscribers is already super engaged in it. So that's why finding your focus and finding a topic that works for your channel and doubling down on it grows your channel a lot faster. Now, I have made a whole video on this, and it's really important to watch because it'll help you understand which metrics actually matter to your channel growth and how to read them in order to grow faster. So you can check that out, and we'll put it in the description below for you to watch next. But before we do that, and before we finish up with the rest of the tips, I'm gonna dive into my computer again and just show you which metrics to focus on the back end to figure out where your subscribers are actually coming from. And I would look at all the metrics that matter. So you wanna look at things like your CTR, so that's gonna be under your reach, and you wanna make sure that it is above 2% because that tells you that people are actually clicking on the video. The next thing you wanna look at is your retention rate. So if I go to overview here, it's gonna tell me what's my audience retention. Ideally, you're looking for over 40%, and you're looking for a fairly straight line throughout the entire video. And then the next thing that you're gonna look at is your views, which is obviously here. And your views will tell you, okay, am I getting more views on this video than other content on my channel? That tells me it's a breakthrough video. And then the next thing that really tells you if it's a breakthrough video is this line right here, which shows you the velocity. So this is average for my channel. This blue line is way above average, which tells me that this video has high velocity and is in demand with my subscribers. So therefore, more videos on this topic are going to perform well and help me grow my channel faster. So you want to look at videos where this blue line is way above the gray line, and that's telling you where you're starting to build new authority for your channel. And the next metric to take a look at is your watch time. So the accumulated watch time, is it higher than normal for a video on your channel? Again, that's telling you that it's racking up a ton of attention and keeping people tuned in, therefore building more authority for you, and is a good topic to build on and to create more content around on your channel, again, to accelerate your growth. And you also mentioned that you're losing subscribers, and that's not a bad thing because you also want to make sure that your subscribers on your channel are actually engaged. It's better to have less subscribers who actually care about your content versus a ton of subscribers who don't care, because when you have a ton of subscribers that don't care and don't watch, your content doesn't get seen in the algorithm because it tells YouTube that it must not be very good if your own subscribers are interested in it. So you want to make sure that your subscriber base is super, super dialed in and super engaged in your content. So losing subscribers right now is normal and it's okay. And your main focus should just be building your subscribers back up based on the topics that you want to talk about. So you can figure out really easily where the majority of your subscribers are coming from by going into your analytics. So this is in YouTube Studio, clicking on your audience, clicking on subscribers, and then going to see more. And this is going to tell you which videos are driving the most subscribers on your channel. And these are the topics to focus on moving forward if you want to accelerate your growth and your reach. Now, this may be related to old video topics that you have, but pay attention to any newer videos that are driving subscribers to your channel and the majority of subscribers to your channel, because those, again, are the places to focus because you've already built an audience that's interested in them. So keep doubling down and moving forward with creating more content like that to get more engagement on your videos, more views, and velocity to therefore reach more people and people who may not have heard of you yet, so you can get new subscribers. Tip number 6 is funnel content. Now, I just recently made a video on this and you loved it. It's called Stop Niching Down. Make sure you check out that video next as well, because I talk about the concept of how you basically can win in a category without having to niche down to something super, super specific. So for your channel, Danielle, you obviously are interested in a multitude of things, and we're starting to figure out which topics are actually driving growth on your channel. So once you know that, you can kind of pick a broader category and create 3 different levels of content in there. So let's just say you wanted to go in the direction of food. In the top level of your funnel, you would be doing beginner basic videos just on food in general. And the middle level of the funnel would be things like easy recipes. And then the bottom of the funnel could be baking specific. That's the specific kind of content you want to be making to grow your audience even faster because you're already seeing a little bit of momentum there. That's just an example, but make sure you check out this video, like I said, on stop niching, and it'll better explain our funnel concept and how you can use that to your advantage in growing your brand and your channel a lot faster while not pigeonholing yourself into just one topic. And further to that, it's so important to understand the why behind your channel. And I often say your why doesn't have to do with I. And what I mean by that is I know you mentioned that it wasn't sparking joy for you anymore, the topic that you were talking about, but it was something that your audience loved. So if you can find a way to still talk about things that your audience is interested in, it's gonna help you bridge that gap and continue to grow the channel. And you can just deliver it in a different way or find some variations of those topics that are still important to you and things that are maybe a passion for you. But your why really should come from a place of what do I ultimately want to build? And then you basically work backwards from there. So maybe you want to have your own cooking show one day, or maybe you want to create one of the biggest cooking channels on YouTube. Then everything should be related to that and working towards that goal, and all of your content should be related to that as well. And that's going to help you win and not confuse the YouTube algorithm. And the 7th step is to tighten your retention. So retention is one of the 6 metrics that matters most, and the key piece of this and why it's so important to your analytics is because if nobody's watching your full video, it's telling YouTube that your content kind of sucks, and therefore they're not going to push it out in suggested, search, or on the home or browse page because nobody's actually watching the full video. So I noticed on your channel your intros are pretty long, and you have to remember that you're trying to pivot into a new category right now. So the idea is new people are discovering your content every day when you're doing this the right way, through suggested, through search, and through browse. And if new people are discovering your content and landing on your content, they don't have the loyalty with you yet to stick around through a really long intro. They basically want you to get to the point as quickly as possible, and that's gonna make them subscribe. Value makes people subscribe. Your personality and all of those things are important, but the big thing when you're trying to grow a new-ish channel is to really get into the meat of your content as quickly as possible, because that's why people are clicking. So you don't wanna mislead people into clicking on your video and then having this really lengthy intro, not talking about the point of the video or the title of the video, because that makes people a little annoyed and they don't want to stick around for the whole thing, which kills your retention and therefore kills your channel growth and authority in the algorithm on YouTube and leads to decreasing views and subscribers. So your scripting on your video, not saying you have to script it word for word, but the way you formulate your content is really important. So make sure you check out this video on how I write my YouTube scripts and our hot script formula next as a little guide on how to do that. Now, when it comes to the thought process of deleting your videos, which I know a lot of people consider doing, I don't recommend doing this because it kills all of the metrics that you've accumulated over the years. You don't want to get rid of those things. I still have super old videos on my channel that nobody watches to this day, but those videos have accumulated metrics and they're a part of my journey and a part of my story. So I always recommend focusing on your content moving forward rather than focusing on the past and spending a ton of time trying to delete those videos, get rid of them off your channel, etc. And as far as starting a brand new channel from scratch just because you want to do a content pivot, I'm not a big fan of that either in most scenarios. Generally, my response is always going to be no. The only reason I would say to start a brand new channel is if you're starting a business channel and it's completely separate from your personal brand. But most cases, it's combined, and it's combined under your personal brand. So you want to make sure that you house everything under that one channel, because diversifying your attention between multiple channels or starting a new channel from scratch slows down your progress and also steals focus and steals attention from your ultimate goal, which is growth. So I would use what you currently have and just make sure that you're using everything I mentioned in this video to bridge the gap and to continue to grow with the right audience and the right focus moving forward. Now, if you want to be featured in the next Ask Sunny, take a look at these instructions. Want to be featured in the next Ask Sunny segment? There's a right and a wrong way to submit your question. The right way is to record a vertical video on your phone, save it to your camera roll, and then upload that video, less than 60 seconds, to your Instagram chat with me. Then tag me in your Instagram story and let me know you've submitted your questions so that I see it in my DMs. The wrong way is to record your video inside of Instagram because unfortunately, I'm not able to save that kind of video. I can't wait to see your question, and I hope that I'm able to feature you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified every single time I post a new video, and leave a thoughtful comment below to potentially get a viewer shout out in my next video. Now check out this video next on how to stop niching, and this video on how to use YouTube analytics to grow your channel faster. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.